And thank you for joining, everyone. Always a good time. DJ Manfred Fig here, signing off for now. Until next time, always good to have everyone join in on the dance party. Passing it back to Rev at this point. Thank you, Rev.
Thank you, DJ Manfred Fig. You'll be making your switch momentarily, yes? To Manny Figueroa? Yes, he will. Okay, so welcome everyone. I hope that you enjoyed the tunes, even if you don't actually get as much into the movement piece, that's okay, because it's just a matter of enjoying the spirit of music. We recognize that it opens us up in ways that often words can't. So we're glad if you were here to join us. If you're just tuning in, again, welcome. This is the Revolution of Love. This is a Zoom service. We like to say, however, this is more than, it's certainly not a meeting. This is really about a ritual and a ceremony that we embark into right now. Before we go any further, however, before we go live on the Facebook, we're going to welcome DECOSTER back to our community right now. He has blessed us many times and he's blessing us tonight. So Paul DECOSTER, please, we'd love to hear from you.
Hi, thank you very much. Thanks very much for having me on the show. And, well, it's not really a show, it's a ritual, as you say. So anyway, this is a song called Talk to Me, and it's about approaching the divine. It goes something like this. Talk to me. There's no need to be afraid. You trembled when you saw me, but you still stayed. You read so much about me, and you knew what you had to do, but you never even thought that I'd find you. Where the sun is gonna shine, wherever you go. It don't matter if you soar, sing so low, but please remember you have a say in how you grow. Talk to me. You know you can always leave, but you chose to face the danger because you believe. But I'm not the one who can make you who you are. Your mama give you pain, but they always wear your scars. Where the sun is gonna shine, wherever you go. It don't matter if you soar or sing so low, but please remember you have a say in how you grow. Talk to me. There's no need to be afraid. You trembled when you saw me, but you still stay. Where the sun is gonna shine, wherever you go. It don't matter if you soar or sing so low. Yes, the sun is gonna shine wherever you go. It don't matter if you soar, sing so low, but please remember you have a say remember you have a say in how you grow. Please remember you have a say in how you grow.
Yes, thank you so much, DeCoster. Thank you. Let's give DeCoster some love, everybody, please. We always love lifting everybody up here and really engaging in the reciprocity. So as we have been blessed by Paul in this moment with that powerful song, that is your song. Yes, Paul, you wrote that? That's an original?
That is correct. That's right.
Yes, thank you. And so we must engage, as I said, in that reciprocity and really experience that uplift. Yes, yes. So if you are just coming into this time with us, we are the Revolution of Love. Are we not, everyone? The Revolution. We're the Revolution of Love, Ministry and Movement. We've been around since 2012, and we are on Facebook Live. So hello, Facebook family, if you're out there. We see you, we hear you, we love you. Before we go any further, we are going to light the candle. If you have a candle on your end, and if it's safe to do so, if you're not driving in a car right now, then please do light the candle with us. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to pray the way that I pray, recognizing that we have people like yourselves from different backgrounds here. You may pray very differently. So let us now fall in. And first we will light the candle together. And now we will do what? We will take 3 deep breaths like we always do. So please, if it is comfortable for you, only if it is comfortable for you to close your eyes, you may do so. You could also keep them at a 45-degree angle if that is a bit more comfortable. And your hands can go face down on your thighs, palms face down, or if you would like to receive more, you can leave them up in that receptive spirit. So let us now take the 3 deep breaths in together, and we breathe in through the nose, breathing in. And exhaling. Arriving and landing. And now a second breath, breathing in through the nostrils, breathing in. Holding it here for a moment. And then a beautiful exhale out. Fully arriving and fully landing here in this moment. And on this third breath, on the exhale, you can make a sound because no one's going to hear you. We're all on mute. So breathing in through the nose. And if you'd like, make a sound on the exhale. As we fully arrive and land in this time and this space, we recognize that we have never been here in this way before. We have never communed in this way before. We have never lived into a moment such as this one ever before. Our hearts, our minds, our bodies have never quite configured in this way before. And so, Holy One, we give thanks for you. We recognize you with many names, and we love you. And we know that we are loved by you. And so, yes, we do give thanks for our lives right now, recognizing that people right here, right now, may be in a struggle. There may be grief, there may be loss, there may be life lessons, feeling like a tossing about. And so I'm going to pray right now in this prayer of consecration for this time, that there is an anchoring of the mind and of the body and of the spirit to something good and holy that if someone is feeling flailed about or tossed around, that there is an anchoring within them, and that they are able to come into this higher resolve, to this highest ground, that their spirit knows what the truth is, and that not only clings to the truth, but that it is revealed tenfold. Love, our guiding force, love, our touchstone, love coming in hot to this time, to this service, to us. God, you are that love. You are that constant. Let us never, ever forget this right now. Let us never look at this in a way that it is passive, that you are passive, that love is passive. Let us recognize the force that is you. And in a world where there is so much tumult, and yes, there is beauty, but in a world where there is so much trouble and struggle, we need that force. We need that force. We need that force of creation. And I call in a spirit of ferocity and creation tonight. Please be with these people here. Be with them. Continue to reveal whatever it is that they need revealing for, whatever it is they may need healing for, whatever it is they may need a seeking of. And of course, prayers and blessings upon not only our community right here, right now, but communities worldwide, countries that are in lack, countries that are in violent struggle. There are so many things so many things. And so we keep moving forward tonight in the spirit of creation and ferocity, never letting go. And a blessing. And we lift the prayer, and the people said, Amen, Amen, Ashe, and Aho. Okay, let us have our land acknowledgement and our path acknowledgement, as well as some other things from Taylor X. Please, Taylor X.
Hello, everybody. It's Taylor X here. My pronouns are he, him, and his. And we'd like to take this time to acknowledge and honor the many paths and beliefs represented here. We honor all religions, philosophies, ideologies, belief systems, healing modalities, and spiritual perspectives. We honor the life experience and wisdom you've brought here today. We respect you and welcome you into this brave space. We emphatically state that disrespect, prejudice, discrimination of any kind has no place here. We empower one another through respect and strength to be true revolutionaries of love and justice. We see you, we hear you, we love you. If you have a path, faith, tradition, belief system, please share it in the chat so we can get to know you better. And usually your path takes you to certain lands. And we'd like to take a moment to reflect on the lands on which we reside. We are coming from many places, and we acknowledge the ancestral homelands and traditional territories of indigenous people who have been here since time immemorial, and to recognize that they're still here, fighting for human rights, for lands, and their culture. It is important not only to honor the legacy and lives of the original caretakers of this land, but continue to build our solidarity with Native peoples across the Americas and across the globe. I am in beautiful North Hollywood, the land of the Chumash, the Tongva, the Fernandino, and the Tataviam. Please take a moment to acknowledge the indigenous people of the lands where you are located in the chat. Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank everyone for sharing the memes for the service. We are growing with lovely people from all across the country and around the globe. Again, feel free to copy the memes and share them at will. That's very commanding. One thing at Roll, there is one thing we want everyone here and on Facebook to know. I mean, really know this deep down to the marrow in your bones, that you are somebody. You are important and you are a big deal and you matter. We see you, we hear you, and we love you. Thanks so much. Back to Rev.
Thank you, Taylor X. Remember, everyone, I hope you wait for, every week I wait for Taylor X to say, share them at will. That and you matter. So thank you so much, Taylor X. I hope we've sort of got a little rhythm going, don't we? A little thing going. Yes, so thank you so much. And now, some of you may just be tuning in. So again, welcome. This is the Revolution of Ministry and Movement. My name is Reverend Felicia Perez-Zader, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, they, them, theirs, and my word of blessing, I actually spoke it in the prayer. This is a word that is very, I wouldn't say heavy on my heart, but that is right at the forefront of my heart and in my soul tonight, and that is creation. Creation. So get ready for it, because that's what the message is going to be. And you are going to be needed to co-create the message tonight. So always share or always participate and create to whatever level and degree is comfortable for you. But we'll do this together. Yes? Yes, we will. A word about Roll, also Revolution of Love, Roll, is that this began in 2012 in the Berkeley area. We've had hundreds of services, not only online, but prior to that in the live space. And so we are a multi-path ministry. We are not interfaith. We are not interdenominational. There's nothing wrong with those things. It's just we're very clear on who we are here, because some of you, we know who you are, and we know that some of you don't have a faith tradition that you follow. Some of you do, but we want to extend this to make sure we are including everybody, and everybody pretty much has a path. Yes. So that's why we say we are multi-path. We're a multi-path ministry, or a multi-path, whichever, tomato, tomato. And with that, we are a movement, because we focus on social justice. We believe in transformative justice. So we do the work. So now, having said that, I will say again what I often say, and that is that we continue to stand with Black Lives Matter, the movement that is happening for racial equity and racial justice, this movement that has been going on for a very, very long time. And one of the ways that we do that, and not just say this as lip service, is by educating ourselves, and is actually in these services, because these services are designed to raise our awareness, to raise our consciousness, to also give us resilience so we can keep in the struggle and dismantle white supremacy culture in all of its forms. Remember in our vision statement that we've been going over, stay with me, please. I know this is a long welcome and a long intro. In that line, it says, we do not co-sign, align, or enable with any structure, system, yes, sorry, I will get here, system, structure, or policy of hatred, oppression, or violence. Kidding aside now. And so with that, we welcome everybody here. So all racial identities, sexual orientations, genders, ages, class, status, ability, sizes, you name it. If there's anything that I forgot, please fill it in. However, the caveat is if one is married and committed to these systems and these structures and not willing to look at the places within them that mire that hatred, that mire that violence, and they're stuck, then you probably just want to keep it moving. It's cool, it's fine, because we're going to make mistakes here, and we're going to keep learning. We are committed to learning. Okay, there it is. There it is. And we're going to keep on engaging, and you're going to be learning more about that soon, and Roll the movement that is breaking news, everyone. So just stay tuned for some stuff on that. when Manny Figueroa delivers those illustrious announcements. Okay, let's have our role blessing, shall we? Let's have our role blessing. And I've been passing it off to someone else. So remember, the role blessing is we see you, we hear you, we love you, and we say it 3 times. We all come off of mute. Who would like to lead us in that process tonight?
I will.
Okay, cool, Lola, thank you.
Okay. All together now, 3 times each. We see you, we hear you, we love you. Okay. Come off mute. We see you, hear you, love
And
you.
we love you. We see you.
We hear
Hear
you,
you.
love
and
you.
we
love
you.
We see you,
See you.
hear you, love you.
And we love you.
Yes, thank you so much, Lola. Thank you. So, if you want to write that in the chat to someone, do it. Let's get past anything that might feel a little awkward or uncomfortable. We have to be in this highest love. This is a highest love that we're talking about. We're not talking about eros. We're not saying, hey, I love you. We're saying it, hey, I love you. I really see you. I really hear you. And we get to usher that in like manna from heavens. Yes. Okay, my friends, we are going to have the mission statement. And we're going to have the vision statement, and Jay and Trevor will be reading those respectively. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Jay. My pronouns are she and hers. And I wanted to share my word of blessing for you all, and it is love. And the reason why I picked it, because normally I don't go with love. I mean, I do, but then whatever. The reason why I picked it is because while some of us may not currently be dealing with a 7.2 earthquake and its aftermath, while some of us may not be dealing with the Taliban right now taking over our government, there are things that are happening around us that warrant our attention, warrant our touch, warrant our prayers. And a lot of times we can't be effective with that unless we have love. And I understand what it means to have it to give and not have it to give. So I just want us to be aware of how we're loving and how we're showing up for one another. So thank you. So welcome to the Revolution of Love movement and ministry. And this is our mission statement. The Revolution of Love Ministry and Movement mission statement, an inclusive, diverse global ministry and movement which emphasizes the intersections of inner work and outer work in the world for the purposes of healing and revolutionary change. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Jay. And thank you for that, the blessing word and your important message as well. Thank you. And now, Trevor.
Hi, everyone. I'm Trevor. He, him, they, them are my pronouns, and my word of blessing is healing. Now I'll read the vision statement. The Revolution of Love is a global ministry and movement of spiritual renewal and outreach dedicated to healing, transformation, and action. We embrace people where they are at religiously, spiritually, and welcome those who may be agnostic or atheists. It is a brave space, a place of inclusivity and diversity where we celebrate our similarities and our differences. It is a vehicle for change, inspiring and motivating us to change ourselves and the world we live in. At the Revolution of Love, we commit to our highest good. We transform through a heart and mind opening experience, and we claim our divine responsibility and honor to be change agents in the world. We do not enable, co-sign, or align with any system, structure, or policy of hatred, oppression, or violence. We create positive peace. We practice transformative justice. We bring equalized compassion and radical love, and we believe in God with all its names. We are the visionaries and the dreamers, architects of peace, strategists creating a new world of what ought to be today. No matter who you are, what you look like, where you come from, who you love, we welcome you. We love you. The time is now. This is the revolution.
I see the smile, Trevor. What time is it?
Now,
There it is. Okay. What time is it, everybody? Now. There, I see Ella, the birthday girl. What time is it, Ella? She's still there? She probably already left. Okay, so it is now. The time is now. The time's up, actually, for us to do it. So we are doing it. Now, Manny, to the announcements, please.
100%. Hi, everyone. And thank you, Jay, Trevor, and Rev for the message. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. So my name is Manny Figueroa from Las Vegas, Nevada. My pronouns are he, him, and his. And I am a services support minister here at the Revolution of Love. Always an honor to be in your presence. Thank you for being here with us tonight. My word of blessing to you is reality changing. It's two words. Don't ever forget, going along with what Taylor said in that breath of knowing that you matter. Know that you can make a difference with that value in yourself, and wake up with a plan. Wake up with a plan, go to sleep with the plan, and make it happen. All right, so let's get into some announcements, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and post the links. I like to do it earlier when I can, and this is one of those moments. So please, I implore you to copy and paste those links at your leisure. And then that way you can access them after service. But let's get into it. For our August announcements, please visit our Linktree for a one-stop shop to be informed of all of the latest happenings here at the Revolution of Love. You can sign up for Rev Felicia's midweek boost and service invitation, connect with the Roll Facebook group, and learn of ways to be of service and how you can get into action. Next, remember, the Revolution of Love is a ministry and a movement. Every week, we present different actions that you can take part in. Please first educate yourselves. Check out our resources link in our Linktree. Here at the Revolution of Love, we are visionary about what change looks like. Between services, we educate ourselves that we bend the arc towards justice and abolition. As a heads up, we will not be having Roll Community meeting this week. Please mark your calendar that the next Roll Community meeting will be on August 25th instead. However, be on the lookout in your email for a survey we will be sending out to get to know you better. It will also be posted in the Roll Facebook group. Rev Felicia posed a challenge to us in the last few weeks to take 10 days to create, reimagine, reframe, or take action. We know some of you have taken on this 10 days in a very serious way. That said, it's time to recognize. If you have done something, anything in the 10-day period, write in the chat right now so we can send you your Roll certificate. Some of you should have already received your certificates. Please print them out. Hang them somewhere as a reminder of what we can, will, and are doing for visionary, bold change work in the world. If you'd like, post a pic of your certificate on your social media, tagging us so we can create more energy around this 10-day challenge process. If you have yet to engage a 10-day challenge, no worries. You can start today or tomorrow and then let us know what it is you are doing. If you need support through it, we're here for you too. Don't forget to go to blacklivesmatter.com and find a chapter near your city. White identified folks can also look for a local chapter of Surge showing up for racial justice at the .org site. Surge always has events and calls to action. Please visit their website, as mentioned earlier, to register. Also, check out the work of CLUE, Clergy and Lady United for Economic Justice, at cluejustice.org, and get to know the work of our partner About My Father's Business by going to their website, amfb.org. Roll is continuing to work with organizations mobilizing for justice and sustainability. And lastly, thank you for being here tonight, for listening, being present. Please enjoy the rest of this evening. Take good care. We'll see you next time. Be blessed. And now, switching it on to Lola, who will be making announcements about giving and outreach. On to you, Lola.
Thank you, Manny. Hi, everyone. I'm Lola from Los Angeles, California. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I also gave the word of blessing as creation, and I'm just going to go ahead and keep that because is there such a thing as too much of anything? Sometimes, but not in this case. And thank you for your prayers last week. I was not feeling well and I sadly had to miss, but I'm back. I'm better than ever. I am coming to you to talk about how we would like you to join role in action. That is, let us know what you wish you could do, what you think you can do, what your skills are, what you wish your skills were. And we will do our best to, no, not do our best. We will find a way to fit that in to the ministry and the movement and put these things into action. And also we have lots of things we want to do and we need funding in order to do that. So if you are moved to and are able and can give through the Linktree, please make donations to Roll. If there's something specific you would like to give to, you can make a note of, excuse me, make a note of that. But, you know, for example, at the end of the month, we're going to be at, I believe we're going to be at About My Father's Business, their next pop-up event. And I want to do stuff and we have to pay for that. And so we need help from our community to make that happen. I don't want to go on too much, but you know, whatever you are called to give, please do. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Lola. So yes, whatever you can do, if it's monetary, love offering, gifts, we do accept that. Simply go to our Linktree. You will see it's very simple to give that way, as well as also if there's just something that really ignites you about rolling, you think, oh my gosh, you know, I know Lola's interested in grant writing. Some of you are writers, some of you are musicians. So like someone like Paul, that's how he's giving to this ministry. So there's just a myriad of ways that you're needed and you're valued. And we also love amplifying people here. We love amplifying your voice and your gifts as well. So we will be with About My Father's Business on my birthday. Come on, you got to come. If you're in LA, you got to come to the pop-up event. And more importantly, let's be serious. It is a pop-up event for folks that are food insecure, folks experiencing homelessness. And so we'll be out there, we'll have a table, Roll will have a table on August 28th, and it'll be at from 1 to 3 p.m. in Chatsworth. There'll be information in our Facebook group about that probably in the weeks to come. But mark it on your calendar, August 28th. And we hope that you can roll out there with us if you're in LA. Now we're gonna switch gears, everybody pivot and shift. Here we go when we do our pivot and shift. Lola, there it is. Okay, everybody else, pivot and shift. We're going to have another song. So please prepare yourself now to receive another musical blessing before what is going to be the message for this evening. And that is going to come once again from DECOSTER. And I would like to tell you more about DECOSTER before he plays for us. His introduction to music at a very early age deepened his passion to find out the intricacies and possibilities of the spoken and unspoken word through musical expression. He says, I was always drawn to rhythm and melody. Its power is so magical that it can transport you from the daily grind of life to a hopeful place. He also went on to say, my goal as a musician is to inspire people, which explains my motto, no messing with spirit. He does this eloquently through his melodies and inflective as well as reflective lyrics, which I saw some of you sharing some of his lyrics from the previous song, which focus on the human side of what he sees in the world rather than the condition of the world itself. And so now back to you, DECOSTER. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. And I just want to, before I do what will tonight be a premiere of a new song, which I've written in the last week, I wanted to hearken back to the Reverend's message of creation. I think that was a blessing word which he used today. And this very song, which I'm about to do, is about creation and the process of it and where one goes when they're in the midst of creation. And oftentimes that requires tapping into the spirit world. Some might not call it that, but oftentimes I feel that it is. And I kind of equated it to fishing. When you go out fishing, usually you cast your reel and you're patiently waiting for a fish to go and bite. And some people don't eat fish, and I understand that, but rather than fishing for a fish, this is fishing for ideas and fishing for inspiration and fishing for a connection with the divine creation. So here we go. Gone fishing.
You are asking where she's gone, but she's sitting right there, scribbling on her writing pad. In her rocking chair, she's gone fishing, casts a reel when she feels something's missing at the bottom of her heart. She is far away from here when she's on that park bench as she paints a universe with a rainbow drench. She's gone fishing, casts a reel when she feels something's missing at the bottom of her heart. Can't say where she goes when she strums her guitar. She is listening to sound the way one watches stars. Every chord she fingers is like searching in the sky for the constellations that will sparkle in her eyes. Can't tell you where I am, though I am next to you. I'm sure you would tell me the same if you were in my shoes. But I've got pen and paper handy, staring at the sky. You sense how I'm feeling, but I cannot tell you why. She have gone fishing, I cast my reel when I feel something's missing at the bottom of my
Oh boy. Thank you, Paul, for joining. I love that. I feel like we were all swimming at some point before here. It's nice to think about. Thank you for premiering that to us, by the way.
Sure. Well, it's, you're the first audience, and I thought, what a better audience to have than the Revolution of Love.
Yeah.
something
I
involving
love it.
creation. Thank you.
Thank you. And back to you, Rev.
Hello. Can you see me and can you hear me? Hopefully you can. This, my friends, is something I have wanted to do. I did it once in Berkeley. This is supposed to make a point, and I will get into it in a moment. We have been going through the vision statement, and we have rested on a certain line about God. We believe in God with all its names. Now, if you're anything like me, if you were raised any way similar as to I was, this is basically what God looked like. At least is that what I thought God looked like. I was taught to believe that God was a white man, I did say that was in the sky with a white beard and possibly a staff. And the God that I was taught to believe in, but I actually rejected this, was one that was hellfire and brimstone. I didn't believe that about God. But I heard this. I heard about this judgmental God, this scary God, this God that was everywhere and sort of in everything. And it looked like this. See, at the Revolution of Love, we elucidate that these kinds of wounds that some of you have definitely experienced, and if you're just tuning in, you're probably thinking, what in the hell did I just tune into? What did I just come into? However, at the Revolution of Love, we recognize that some of you have indeed been harmed by a religious institution or religion itself. And maybe you didn't grow up to believe in a God that looked like this. Maybe that wasn't your story. But maybe the God from your past, my friends, stay with me here on this one. Maybe the God of your past isn't the God of your future. Maybe there is a way that you must believe today in something that is a highest love or a higher power or a highest good. And right about now, you're probably thinking, how long is she going to keep that wig on and that beard? I don't know. We'll see. But something today that can feed your soul truly. And the reason why it is important when we say in the vision statement, and we believe in God with all its names, the reason this is important, my friends, is because we must have a constant. It isn't just about believing in something for you to feel good, for sunshine and lollipops. No. There is something miraculous that happens when we not only believe in a God of our own understanding, a God that works for us today. It provides us the ability to believe in the potentiality for change. I'm going to say that again, because that is maybe the most important thing to take away tonight. When we believe, not in the God of yesterday, if that is no longer working for you, but in a God of today, maybe in a God of the future, the God that you deserve, a loving God, a forgiving God, a compassionate God. Amen. It not only provides you the stability and a constant contact, but it brings you right back around to believing in change. That we are going to create change. That we are going to be part of a powerful transformation on this planet, right here and right now. I want to pose some things right now. What if God is, and I hope you can see this. Hold on, I'm going to go off the virtual. Hold on 1 second, everybody. So you can really see this. What if God is the water? What if God is in the light? What if God is in the light? What if God is in the smoke? What if God is in the smoke? What if God is in the formless? What if God is in the goddess? In the fierce goddess? What if God, hold on, more props. What if God is in the laughter? What if God is in the joy, as Taylor X always talks about? What if God is in the funny? What if God is in the expansion? And not only in the expansion and in the visionary, but also in the contraction, in the times where we come together, in the times where we must ground. What if God is in all of it? Tonight, I want you to imagine, what is God to you now? And maybe the better question, my friends, is what do you need from a higher power? And you may call that love, you may call that music, you may call that art, Shekinah, Jesus, Allah, however you call it. You switch out the word like we do here. But what is it from this thing that you need? And so think about this now for a moment. And remember, we're pushing aside what we were taught. You know, maybe it was that funny wig thing that I just did. Maybe it was. And we are going future. We are going into the visionary element now. So with that, what does God look like, taste like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like to you? So feel free to answer any of those questions as expansively, because there is no right or wrong answer. And we will just sit here for a moment and wait until someone would like to speak. And I see a hand up already. And so Judy, please, you can start us off and then we'll go around.
My Wi-Fi works better without my video going. I don't think that we really know how to picture God, which is why some religions actually require that you do not try to make a picture of God. And I don't think we can quite comprehend whatever creator, whatever that is. So for me, I always go back to that movie that I love, and I do not like the book, but I love the movie, The Shack. God to me is perfect as Octavia Spencer and at Graham Greene when you need the masculine side of God. And then I also like the Jesus character in that very much, and the representation of the part of God that is the Holy Spirit, Sarayu. I love that movie and those representations. I don't expect everyone else to. To me, they speak. But I think that that's how God, whatever God, goddess is, whatever that largeness is, finds a way to be what people need. And I understand why we really shouldn't put like pictures on him, because when you do, you end up with a Leonardo picture of somebody that doesn't look like anything like Jesus would look. So that's my own opinion.
Thank you, Judy. And we recognize that some folks may have a face. There may actually be an image to what they believe. And that's okay too. That's how expansive we are. Thank you, Judy, for your sharing your truth and wisdom with us. And Leslie, please.
Hi, first, thank you all for your prayers. I appreciate that. God for me has always been the great mystery, has been my grandmother wrapping her arms around me and telling me everything will be okay. And the great mystery is nature, is truth, is right here. Hello, God, my name is Anna. Remember that book? And it is the listening to myself and trusting and doing the right thing and being in humanity and all that exists in humanity, whether it's the joy and the sorrow, everything exists together. For me, nature and the spirit and music, of course, music to me is nature. That's the universal sound. You know, those of us who are musicians and not poets know that too. Poets and dreamers. The spirit of possibility, of change, of growth, that peace every birthday, every Christmas, every day. When asked, what do you want? I want world peace. I find that closer, the closer we all start talking with one another, and that spirit is always existing. So to me, it's spirit.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your truth. And I see Manny's hand is up. Please, Manny.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing, Leslie. God looks like you. God looks like you. Everyone here, everyone I've ever met. And I've felt that strongly, you know, and you know, there's so many beliefs, right? So many ways to look at it. But I've always seen myself in other people, just as I've seen God, and you know, there's just a beautiful unity there. I'm just getting emotional talking about this. But yeah, I guess, you know, as someone who, you know, identifies as a male, you know, I see him that way, and I refer to him in that way, but I see him as all the same. But that's how I refer to him as, and I wouldn't want anyone to have to do it my way, right? It's the way I connect with him, and I love hearing about how others do it and see it and witness, and yeah, anyway, that's what I have to say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Manny. Thank you, and thank you for saying that's your truth on it. I appreciate that, because we do, again, I'm just going to say it one more time, we are also different here. You know, some of us genderless kind of God, or not a Godhead at all, being agnostic. We have had atheists bless us over the years and still. So just always lifting these points up to be sure and to be clear. So, and I see Taylor X. Yes, Taylor.
Hello, Rev. Let's see. One of my concepts of God, a higher power, is whoever makes my hair grow. Okay? Because no matter how hard I try, I can't stop it from growing. Somebody designed me so that my hair will grow. Whoever that designer is, I'm going to ask them for help when I need things, because nobody could stop their hair from growing. That is in the design. And whoever handles the seasons, you know, if the universe was truly random, then the seasons wouldn't come in the order that they come in. They would be random. They would change all the time, you know, but they're not. somebody, I believe, is in charge of the seasons and making sure that they all come in the order they're supposed to come in. So whoever that is, that's who I'm going to go to when I have problems. When I need some divine help, I want to touch the divine. And that's how I'm doing that.
Thank you, Taylor X.
You're welcome.
I wasn't sure what you meant initially, and then you elucidated it. Thank you. I see Jay's hand, and Jay, please.
Hey, when I think about God, I think about the concept of God. The more that I've grown to know who God is, I pull God more away from the church, if you will. Because I think of how, and I would say this from the perspective of a Western ideology, because to me that takes away or stifles God's universality. And then I also see the concept of, and I've embraced more the concept of God being genderless, because of the fact of how I've and understood God to be a mother, because I am motherless, and understanding God to be a father because I am fatherless. But I see God not only in form, but also in deed, as a creator, as one to help influence the creation of things that help us thrive and survive, but also to be the one that helps to also be the answer of questions, even when things just don't make sense. And what sticks with me is from a perspective of how it's so difficult to really understand and grasp God's concept, because it reminds me of a scripture that says how God's ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts, and God's ways are not our ways. But because of the fact that it's so hard to really encompass God and to really give full explanation, I just have to come back and see it from a child's perspective. Literally, like, what has been my own experience? What has God done for me? How have I been in life circumstances of burying all of my family members and still be able to come home and not have to be on medication for depression? So it's like, that's my experience, but I'm so looking forward to understanding God outside of the realm of how we try to box God in. I hope that made sense. Thanks.
Yes. It did make sense, Jay. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing some of your journey with us. Really appreciate it. As we are continuing, and we're going to go to Jenny in a moment, remember, people are these last few services where we have engaged in this conversation. Let's be very present for one another and really witness, because when we're witnessing, we know that there's healing that begins to happen or that continues to happen. Wonderful. Thank you. And now to you, Jenny.
This past week, my 10-year-old granddaughter, Bronwyn, who lives in Houston, was visiting. And during one of the evenings, and maybe some of you did this too, went outside after midnight and watched the meteors from the Perseid meteor shower. And Bronwyn had never been up that late before to go out and just gaze at the stars. But that's what we did. We drove out east of our town into as much darkness as we could find, and we're just staggered by what we could see just using the naked eye. All of the planets and the stars and the haze of the Milky Way. We had some really good conversations And she's a pretty astute student, knows about the Big Bang, and it's trying to grapple with the idea of how you get all that much energy and whatever it is into such a small little tiny pinprick of a space. And then all of a sudden, it explodes and there you have it. And then she asked, but how did that get going? How did it start to begin with? And that's a question for the ages, for all of us. And we can say, in the beginning, God. And whatever pathway our God takes from that, it can't take away the wonder of that in the beginning moment.
Thank you so much, Jenny. It's great to have you. I've known Jenny for a long time. I'm sort of revealing, but I've known Jenny. Jenny, you've known me since I was a teenager. So in the church, in the Presbyterian church. So yeah, little backstory there, everybody. Yes. So others, we have time for a couple more. Oh yes, I see Nancy, your hand is up. Please share with us. And you are on mute.
Oh, there we go. I apologize. I was just learning how to raise my hand there. And that's interesting, actually, because when I pray, I've come to requesting from the source of all that's loving, beautiful, and creative. And thinking about raising my hand, I also think about what stirs us, what we call our gut, our instinct. And most of the time, when we're able to discern that that is not from fear, that is from being moved, inspired, and then whether that is to offer a word here, or to write a poem, or to reach out to someone, or to reach inside, or to create beauty, or to love even a stranger that we come in contact with in some way. I find that the source really is about giving hope. And that element of hope is so much of what we need in the world now and always have needed. And so I just wanted to offer that and wish you all peace, because I find that peace also brings us back to what is home and what is love and beautiful and creative. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nancy. It's good to have you back.
Thank
you for sharing. Yes. And I see Evie's hand. And before Evie, we hear you. Is there anyone else that would like to go? And please raise your hand now if you would like to share, because we'll have to move on and begin to close this time. Okay. Well, we still have a little time while Evie's sharing. Please, Evie.
Hi, everybody. Okay. This is a little hard one for me. But what I had found after my disappointments in various spiritual searching that I was doing, that a formless God is where I found comfort. It didn't look one way or another, like one gender or the other, or have a voice that sounded like one way or another. And suddenly the communication was clearer, better. And I realized that God hears me even when I don't make a sound with my mouth. And I hear God, but I'm not hearing him through a voice. I just hear him. And so this lack of physicality became more confirmed for me. And it just was easier to start to speak like this, which is not easy for me. But people have said to me that sometimes I go somewhere else in the middle of, they ask a question and I have an explanation or my explanation. And they say that I went somewhere and that I said everything that they needed to hear. And I don't even remember really what I said. And I started to realize that God really is in me and I am in him and we're all in each other. And it's the only way I can find comfort that doesn't divide people. And because of the man-made ways that we have come to describe and see God. That's it.
Thank you, Evie. Thank you, Evie. So, and thank you everyone that shared and recognizing like this has been, yes, I see some hands going up. This has been the third installment, so to speak, around this line of our vision statement. And we believe in God with all its names. Remembering that prior to that line, we stated, we create positive peace. Positive peace, not negative peace. Negative peace, which is the absence of violence. Not enough. That's not enough. That's no life to live. That's not a life that we need to lead, no longer. We create a positive peace. So that is the presence of transformative justice, of values such as compassion and love and safety and equity. The next line after we create positive peace was we practice transformative justice, and we have gone into that in detail, remembering that transformative justice, the building blocks of everyday transformative justice means checking in on each other. It means being accountable. It means that when we cause harm, when we say something wrong, when we make a misstep, that we amend it, that we fix it, that we listen to one another, that we don't merely apologize, we amend it. Think of the Hebrew expression tikkun olam, to fix, to repair. So from we practice transformative justice, we moved into, I'm just reviewing this because it is important. We moved into, we bring, everything, every word is poised. We bring equalized compassion. And from here we discussed bringing equalized compassion is extremely important, because if you weigh and you bleed yourself out, I should say, if you bleed yourself out and you're always giving this kind of compassion that is exhausting, that's not compassion. It must be balanced. And when it is balanced, you actually can feel it in your soul. You can actually feel it in your body. You can go back and review that sermon on our YouTube if you'd like. And we bring also not just a solely an equalized compassion, we bring a radical love. A radical love, which means the highest love. I already alluded to that some minutes ago, saying we're not talking about eros love, which is a romantic love. We're not talking about philia love, which is a brotherly love. We're talking about what is sometimes known as agape, but I want to even actually go beyond that and say that we are at a highest love. And so note that the line that we have been in, and we believe in God with all its names, comes after this segment, this portion of the Revolution of Love vision statement, and that is not an accident. That is not an accident, because that's a hell of a lot of work. One could say, I know David often says, what is it? It's not homework, it's work play. However, it can be a very big task. A lot of this Revolution of Love thing going on is there's a lot of feel it in the announcements that Manny read. It's a lot of change that we're talking about here. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of change. It's a lot of giving. It's a lot of doing. It's a lot of this and that. And where are we going to get our sustenance? Where are we going to get our constant contact? And what does that mean? And so we know that many of you were told what to believe. We know that many of you have been wounded by religion. Not all of you, not all of you. And you haven't, if that's not your story, that is wonderful. That's great. But Revolution of Love exists because we are that expansive here, and we recognize that we need to believe in something. And it can look like anything. And as you just shared, what you are believing in, what you are what you are believing in today may be very different than what you believed in 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and so on, or maybe even last year. And I will say what I said at the beginning of this when I still had the wig and the beard on, and that is, it's not solely about what we believe in. It doesn't end there. I think in a way, Nancy was bringing it in when she talked about hope. It is easier to create the positive peace. It is easier to bring to practice the transformative justice. It is easier to bring the equalized compassion and the radical love when we believe in a higher power, in a highest love, in nature, in music, in the power of connection. The spirit that has been happening right here, right now, for the last however many minutes. When we can take hold of that, my friends, feel that. There is something that reminds us that we're not alone in this. We are not alone in this life. In those moments where we have all had them, all of us have had them, that feeling of desolate nature or cause, that we are in fact in community with, in connection with, that there is a wholeness that abounds. And we begin to believe that the structures and the systems that have been put in place for oh so long, that are evil, that are cruel, that are violent, that are oppressive, that are hate-filled, that they will fall, that they are falling, that the change is happening, and that the change is going to come. It's not a fool's hope. It's a belief, and it's a knowing. And it makes us, I feel this, please, it makes us sit in a high resolve to keep going together. And when and if you get tired, you rest. If you don't need to, then don't. But in the meantime, it is this thing, this vehicle of change that calls us in the night. That is revolution of love. It is something that is ineffable. And maybe that thing, that is also God. Maybe that is also love. Maybe that is also the connection. Maybe it is the conversation that you have with someone in the week time. Maybe it is something that has not been named tonight. And it just lifts you. And it lifts us. And it reminds us that we will never, ever give up, that we will keep going, that we will believe in fantastical things, in things that are magical, in things that are beyond thoughts and words, things that they tell us can't exist, because we are that prophetic here at Revolution of Love. You are the prophets, you are the seers, you are the leaders, You are the lovers. You are the architects. You are the strategists. You are the visionaries. This is your call. This is our call. Yes, in the beginning, God. In the beginning, the Logos. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was love. Concretize. Be in high resolve, and remember that the revolution of love was poised for such a time as this. It is the time. The time is now. We will not be forsaken, and we will keep moving forward. And so it is, even now. Amen, Amin, Ashe, and Aho. Please take a breath. Breathing in, everybody. And however this finds you, and whatever you do believe, concretize that in your body like a holy breastplate now. Feeling the energy and feeling the healing that is coming in, that you are deserved of, that has been calling you for oh so very long. And as we ready for our prayer time, please, I invite you to put prayer requests in the chat. The things that you may need prayer for, the things that this world needs prayer for, the things that our communities need prayer for, please put them in the chat. And I will again pray in my own way, knowing that you may pray very differently and being as respectful as possible during this last part of our service. And so we say, and Holy One, gracious One, one with many names, we love you, and we know that you love us, and that love is the golden cord that always, always, and forever connects us. A holy blessing upon the people here. May their bodies be made whole, may their minds, may their systems and their souls, every part of them, every cell, may it be joyous. May all those parts of them may be whole and healed and joyous and prosperous. May they know these things. May they know these blessings are coming in tenfold as they know their name. Prayers upon the world right now with oh so much happening, so much unrest. We ask for prayers for all the different places and the different people that are in need of healing, that are in deserved of security. Lifting up our families right now, families experiencing homelessness, those that are unhoused, that are insecure on the streets. We see them and we lift them up right now, and we will continue to come up with creative ways to support and to be there and to topple any structure that is laden with poverty and discrimination and lack. And for our sacred companions that are not here tonight, people that are ailing from whether it's a physical malady or an emotional malady, we lift them up as well right now. You can put their names in the chat if you would like, but we lift them up right now. And I am actually going to turn my attention to the chat and see what is there, to see if there are prayer requests. And I don't see any prayer requests just yet. I will hold here for a moment. I would like to send a prayer up for Dr. Robert Gross. I will leave that there, recognizing that he is well, just that there are people around him that need some prayers of peace and encouragement. And I will leave that prayer there. and a prayer for Cuba on behalf of Manny. And so lifting up the people of Cuba and all of the unrest that has been happening there for some weeks now. And so healing and revealing as that comes for Cuba. And also now another prayer for on behalf of Lola, for Haiti, for the victims and the survivors, the people of Haiti. And we know that the death toll is high, and so we ask for awareness of steps that we can take, of things that we can do beyond just sending good thoughts and prayers, but ways that we might be most effective, God, ways that we can bring love in a bold way. And on behalf of Trevor, we also have a prayer request for the people, again, of Haiti. We will lift them up once again. And also in Afghanistan, recognizing that there is also so much happening in that part of the world. And so healing goes out to Afghanistan, and a prayer for not only a negative peace, but as was stated earlier, a positive peace. And believing that this is possible. Again, believing that this is possible. We must believe, we must create these changes. And on behalf of David and Margaret, for those who have cancer and are undergoing treatments. And so we know that there are people right in our community that have friends and family that are struggling with or experiencing cancer and receiving treatment for that. And people outside too of the Revolution of Love family and community. And so lifting these people up right now, recognizing that again, healing always happens. It may not look like it, we may not understand it, we may not like it, but there is some healing that will come. It may not always look like we want it to. Yes. And again, another prayer, we will again pray for Afghanistan and lifting up the people there and lifting up all of the tentacles to this long protracted conflict and seeing some way to rebuke it, to ease it, and to connect in with the peace that must come. Yes. And now prayers for the first responders. On behalf of Nancy, prayers for first responders. We will say that worldwide. We will say first responders worldwide. Yes. And on behalf of David and Margaret, for those who are considering or who have attempted suicide, we see you, we love you, and we hear you. And so folks that have died of suicide, we lift their spirits up. We know that they are in that hospital getting treated on the other side. And people that are struggling with being in this place, knowing that it is a hard time, that it is very brave to be alive right now. And if there's anybody here on our service or someone that watches and witnesses this service at a later date, we do lift you up. And yes, we do love you. And we ask that you just stay another moment. You just stay another moment and another second with us here. And let's see, on behalf of Lola, prayers for Camille and Shara, who are both feeling the exhaustion of healing cancer. And so again, another prayer request for those that are experiencing this terrible thing that is called cancer. And so a healing must happen, a revealing must happen, and we claim it, and we know it to be so. And for animals in the world that have been caught in the conflict of nature and war, I also would like to add, and maybe that is already implied there, but the fires. And so for our four-leggeds, our wingeds, animals of all kinds that are caught in that cycle of violence, we see them and we center them in our hearts and minds right now. And another prayer request, and that was on behalf of Leslie. On behalf of Nancy, now prayers for those who are lost in fear and victims of hatred. Yes. And I also feel compelled to adding just a little bit to this one as well. And that is that people that are lost in fear and are victims of hatred, that they may truly have a moment of coming back to their humanity, if nothing else, if even coming back to their imago Dei, that they are made in love, that they have a moment where they really remember who they are. And on that, let us close out this prayer time and let us actually really solidify as we move forward. God, come down like the manna from the heaven, the spirit that needs to be. Help us remember who we are. Again, let this be concretized in us, that we know without a shadow of a doubt that we do not forget, not our importance in a grandiose way, not in an inflated way, but in a way that is balanced so that we may better do the will of you, the will of love, the work of justice, and the work also for ourselves. So bringing this in and remembering and saying, yes, God, I do know who I am. May the folks on this Zoom ceremony and this Zoom ritual, may they truly remember in a powerful way, if not now, some point in the coming moments, maybe later this evening in their shower or in their sleep time, in their dream time, may there be a visitation of a spirit, of an angel, of a guide saying, yes, you do matter that much. You are made in the image of all that is good and all that is holy. We thank you for your love, great spirit, great mystery. We thank you for your joy. We thank you for the lessons that we get to experience through you and with you, no matter how hard they are. We show up for it and we give thanks. And we say now, and the people said, and so it is, even now. Amen. And to you, Paul.
Thank you very much for those prayers. And this last song is not one of mine, but which is done by a guy named Jerry Rafferty. And although he dedicates it to someone he loves, I think that this could just as equally be a song dedicated to God, and you'll find out when you listen to the lyrics. It's called Right Down the Line.
Ooh, I need your love. You got that hold on me. As long as I got your love, you know that I'll never leave. When I wanted you to share my life, I had no doubt in my mind. It was you, woman, right down the line. I know how much I lean on you, only you can see. The changes that I've been through have left a mark on me. You've been as constant as a northern star, the brightest light that shines. It's been you, woman, right down the line. I just want to say this is my way of telling you everything that I could never say before. Yeah, this is my way of telling you every day that I'm loving you so much more. 'Cause you believed in me through my darkest night. touched something deep inside me. You brought me into the light. I threw away those crazy dreams. I left them all behind. It's been you, woman, right down the line. Just wanna say this is my way of telling you every day that I'm loving you so much more. Yeah, this is my way of telling you every day that I'm loving you so much more. If I should doubt myself, if I'm losing ground, I'll never turn to nobody else. They'll only let me down. When I wanted you to share my life, I had no doubt in my mind. It's been you, woman, right down the line.
Yes, thank you so much, Paul. Thank you, DeCoster. We so appreciate everybody that's here still. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And our birthday folks actually are not here, so we will say happy birthday, a big birthday blessing. If you've had a birthday recently, we love you and we give thanks for your birth and we celebrate you. So, Paul, is there anything you want to say about your music, or can you just put it in the chat? What do you think?
Yes, if you want to hear anything that I've got currently, you can just go to the following pages. I'll put it in the chat, but you can go to decostermusic.com. That's where you'll hear a lot of my recordings. Okay, if you want to follow me on Facebook, my handle is DeCoster, and you'll see various posts that I have of shows that I've got, whether they're near you or not, and also various random thoughts. Instagram, I'm on TigerMan PCD. I'll put that in the chat too. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for following me, and I will have some more music coming out in the future. I've already recorded a song which is in the can, but I'd like to. I'm still in the process of writing some new ones, including the one that you heard tonight. So, got a ways to go, but looking forward to giving you some new music in the future. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Paul. We give thanks for you. And of course, we give thanks for everybody that was joined us tonight. We will be on next Sunday. We do not have our community meeting. Remember, Manny announced that we are going to just lift the needle up off the record this week. And then we will have our Wednesday community meeting on August 25th. So you feel free to come off mute. We love you, and we give thanks for your presence. Please take good care of yourself. And if you'd like, come off mute and say your goodbyes till we meet again.
Thank you, Rev. Thank
Bye.
you.
Very much.
Thank you,
Good
Rev.
night.
Bye, everybody.
Nice to see all of you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
You guys all.
Take
Night.
care of
Very nice.
yourself.
Nice
Thank
to
you
meet
for your message, Leslie.
I like the nose, Reverend. It looks really good. It's
I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna just
Yeah,
do
just-
all my sermons like this.
just attach it to you, you know.
Yeah.
Makes you
And I
stand
gotta
out.
keep it alive at roll, you
The
know.
Reverend Patch
Yeah.
Adams.
The Reverend Patch Adams. I'm glad you
I actually did work with him in
Oh well, I do want to acknowledge. I do want to say happy birthday to Taylor X.
Oh,
Happy
Oh
birthday,
yes,
Taylor.
yes, that's right. That's right. Let's
So did
actually
you want me to say anything, Taylor? Is it okay?
can we
hey,
sing
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
you happy birthday, Taylor? Please, we're off the live stream.
Well,
Okay, go for it.
I'll go
Okay.
for it. Okay. We're doing the key
Yay.
today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Taylor. Happy birthday to you. Yeah.
All right, Paul, thank you so much.
Are you kidding
I
me?
appreciate
Oh,
that.
Of course, man. You kidding me? That's my
Thank
pleasure.
you.
My pleasure. I hope that you had a good birthday. You know,
Yeah, it was all cool.
well, that's
It was
great.
chill.
You had a good time. Just chilled out with your buddies and all that.
Yeah, chilled out with some buddies and then hung out with my mom and, you know, the Rev, and everything was chill.
Hung out with Mom and the Rev. Well, can't go wrong with that.
No.
That sounds like a party to me. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, my mom could get out of control.
Oh, that's good, man. Well, hey, you know,
No.
she taught you well.
Oh, yeah.
She taught you well. It's great. Not that I've
Thanks.
ever met her,
That's
but
funny.
you know.
That's funny. Well, yeah, I hope, yeah, I wasn't gonna, I didn't know how you felt about that, Taylor, but I'm glad we got you anyway, so.
I don't know. You were there, so you know. And it was
Okay.
You know.
And Archie, hello to you. It's great to see you. It's been a long time.
I know.
Yeah, great to have you in our
Archie.
community.
Hi, Archie.
Sorry, you guys. I was trying to give the Rev $5 just now, so I was off for a second.
Online for the
Yeah. Well, you know what? Now I'm gonna bump it up to 10. So,
Oh, thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you. It's great to see you. It's been quite a while.
Couple of days. You're right. Little bit, but
Yeah, a little.
you know, you always bring it. Your energy is incredible, and you know, there's a lot for you to teach with just your presence. So I couldn't resist stepping in, and you know, you did not disappoint as usual. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
A lot of wonderful things were shared, I think, by everybody. It really felt quite rich, you know? So thank you, Leslie. Leslie, we're so glad you're here. We know that you haven't been feeling the best, but you're here anyway, and we're grateful.
Yes, and I appreciate all the love and light, and I'll get my voice back soon. I have a date to get it back, so.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
I love that positivity.
Actually.
Well, good night to you all. Take care.
Good night to you, Leslie.
Good
Okay,
night.
Bye.
Hey, good
Good night,
night.
everyone. I'm gonna hop
Good
up.
night.
Have a
Bye.
good
Good
night.
night to you, Manny. Thank you so much for doing all this, for all that you
Oh,
do.
yeah. Absolutely. No.
Yeah, thank you, Manny.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much, Reverend. It's always a pleasure. And you know, when this stupid thing is over, I'd love to. I keep telling you this, but I'd love to come out to California.
Yes, I would
Never
love
been to
that.
Las Vegas in my life. Archie, you in LA too?
I am. I'm in the San Fernando Valley.
San Fernando. Is that like inland or is that like close to the coast?
No, it's more definitely inland, a little, starting to head towards the mountains a little bit. Place called Pacoima. You ever heard of Ritchie Valley?
I've heard of the name, yeah.
La Bamba. Yeah, that's
La
yeah.
Bamba.
I'm in the heart of La Bamba land.
Is that where he's? Is that where? Was he from there?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. He's an LA native. Look at that.
Yeah.
Man. Well, my daughter-in-law is from Riverside, California.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And you know, she just had a baby,
Oh, cool.
so that means I'm a granddaddy.
Right
Wow.
on.
Yeah, it's crazy, but
That's
Hey,
it's
just one last thing, Paul. I tried pulling you up on Instagram. Am I pulling up the wrong thing? Where are you?
I'm Tigerman PCD. Tigerman PCD.
So no
capital
wonder
T.
that just went sideways.
Here I've got it. I've got it in the chat.
I see it now.
See
I
it
see
now?
it.
Yeah. So you just follow me on Instagram. I'll be very happy to pick up your follow. And that seems to be where I get the most traffic. I mean, I am on TikTok, but you know, TikTok's crazy. Oh, crazy, man. People, you know, it's just I can't keep up with that. So people either
I know, I
rant or
haven't even started anything
do
like that.
crazy. They do some really creative stuff with it. Clapper is, I think, a more sane version of TikTok. You get 3-minute uploads. And you can pretty much say whatever you want. There's so many people and they just talk about cooking and they talk about all kinds of different hobbies that they do. You know, it's
It's
I mean they
called
do on
Clapper?
TikTok too. TikTok will tell you anything. You know.
All right, cool. Thank you, Paul.
Of
Reverend,
course, Archie.
thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Taylor,
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you.
really nice service, you guys.
Thank you.
Wonderful having you. Thank you for everything, everybody, especially Taylor X and Paul for being on the worship team.
Of course.
Thank
it's
you.
Our pleasure. It's really our
Okay.
pleasure.
All right.
Sorry, this.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
we'll see
take
you
care,
later.
everybody.
Okay,
Blessings.
bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.